All right, as you can see, Nate has officially ruined my UCI, but it's okay. We're still gonna be able to make it work because remember, what are we going to be doing? We are going to be translating the friendly names, which in this case are ridiculous names.
They're very friendly.
To the pretty names that the NV32 wants to actually make use of. So let's think about what it is that we need to accomplish. Because remember, how do we start writing code? We start by thinking. So step one is that we need to pick the friendly name. Guess what? We actually have already done that. That's what ctl.string is. ctl.string is the friendly name. So that's already good. So then step three is send pretty name to core, right, to NV32. So what does that mean step two is? Step two is we need some way of translating the friendly name to the pretty name. That's what we need. So you may remember that in the intermediate version of the class, we created an array of friendly names and an array of pretty names. And then we used the little block that says find, right? Find in such and such array this certain value that returned an index. We used that index to then drop into a second array to pull out the corresponding data. We're not going to do any of that because that involves searches, and searches involves loops, and we can do better. For those of you who know about computer science, there is a thing called Big O, which is a way of discussing the computational efficiency of certain algorithms. And those other approaches, while they work, they are kind of computationally expensive. We, on the other hand, we are going to take an approach that is going to run much, much, much faster and easier. What we're going to do is we are simply going to, well, we're going to look up the answer. Nate, one of my favorite books when I was a kid was by Douglas Adams.
Why did it stop being one of your favorite books when you stopped being a kid?
It didn't.
Should still be up there.
No, I actually I had an anthology.
I got the same one, leather bound. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that same one.
Yep.
One of the little quirks in Douglas Adams's world there on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was that, right, how do you actually make universal translation take place? Do you remember? You remember how that works?
Babelfish.
The Babelfish, right? It's a little fish you stuck in your ear and it would just automatically translate. I mean, it was eating your brainwaves, but it was a wonderful symbiotic relationship. Let's make table Babelfish to automatically translate our names for us. Let's come up into func set choices and let's define table Babel fish. We're going to construct the table by using the braces, the curly brackets, as I like to say. And then let's start populating it. Now, we're going to use this table as a proper table. We aren't going to make this table an array. We're actually going to use string keys with string values. And what we're going to do is we are going to correspond the friendly names with their corresponding pretty names. And that's going to enable us to look up the answers. So let's start populating it. Honestly, this might be another montage, but let's just see how it goes. So table, Babel, fish, bracket, because we are creating a key in our table. What is the key in our table? It's going to be the friendly name. But remember, what is the friendly name? It's not laptop 1, because laptop 1 is now Nate's laptop. Okay, so are we also going to type in Nate's laptop? No, we're not. Instead, we are going to create as the string key, we actually are going to create it with right here, friendly HDMI1, UCI dot variables dot friendly HDMI1's dot string is going to correspond to, guess what? The pretty name, HDMI space 1. Perfect. All right, let's build out the rest of the table. Here we go, and I'm going to do it by copying and pasting a bunch of times, and then I'm going to update these things. Do 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 boo 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 boo. Okay, now here we go. Why did I put table Babelfish inside of func set choices? Because it changes. Every time we change one of those UCI variables, we need to reset the array of friendly names. We need to reset the dot choices into those list boxes. We also need to rewrite our table Babelfish. Now, many of you are going to say, oh, you've just made a lookup table, or oh, you've just made a dictionary, and you are right. That's exactly what we've done. All we've done in Lua land is we have created key value pairs. The keys are whatever strings are in those UCI variables, and the values are the corresponding pretty names. All right, let's make use of this to see if we can actually make correct choices. So let's come back down to line 170. So step 1 was pick the friendly name. Step 2 is see if we can actually make it translate. So we're going to concatenate in a space slash space, and then we're going to concatenate in, guess what? We're going to look up. In table Babelfish, we are going to look up ctl.string. It's really that easy. There's no looping. It's just look up the answer. Let's hit save and see how this works. Save, there you go. And when I click Nate's laptop, it tells me that list out 1 picked Nate's laptop, which is HDMI 1. Nate's other laptop is HDMI 2. Nate's wireless is HDMI 3. The Nate logo is graphic 1. This, my friends, is working. Of course, it's going to work for the other as well. Pretty as a picture. And part of the reason, this is why you want to write it as a loop. As soon as I made the first one work, the second one just works automatically as well because we wrote it inside the context of a loop. We're writing both of them at the same time. For me, I really like that.